Dun, dun, dun. The Julie doll we mentioned in our Christmas haul and surprise video is here. If you didn't watch that video, basically one of Colleen's work friends gave her daughters Old American Girls. So there was Krissa, a Felicity doll, and there was supposed to be this Julie, but all we got was her arm because Colleen's friend's, I think, niece took Julie out of the bag that the dolls were in, and she got misplaced. So it has been over a month. We got Krissa and Felicity on November 18th, and we got Julie last night on December 21st, because it took a while to find Julie, and then we've known for about a week that Julie was found, but Colleen's other friend, who was supposed to bring this doll into her second job so Colleen could take her home, was out sick, and there was just like a whole thing with that. So she's finally here. She does have some sort of makeup on her lips, and it looks like some of the paint is chipped, but she's wearing Krissa's Team Gear shirt and her accessory necklace and her original pants and what I can only assume are our generation shoes. So I'm going to clean her up. I'm not going to do a transformation video on her just because I already edited and uploaded and have it on private, the one with Krissa and Felicity, and I don't feel like having to re-edit that whole video to include her, so I'll just show some clips here in Dolly Diaries. I apologize if you're not interested in seeing that, but I'm so excited, and her arm's already clean, so we're going to clean her without the arm, then I'll attach the arm once she's all dry. Reattaching Julie's arm is kind of complicated, so I thought I would explain what I'm doing. I have a washer, as you can see. This is what I use instead of a brass insert. If you've ever taken apart an American Girl, you know that the older ones, so like from before 2010, they have little
metal clamps that hold the elastic in place on the cup inside the doll. I've actually bought brass inserts like that before at the hardware store, but they were expensive. So I just took an idea from my dad when he improperly restrung some childhood American Girls, and I bend a washer, and then I slide it over the elastic, and then I clamp it down into place. You can also knot the elastic, which is what they do now, but I'm not very good at like holding the tension while I knot it. I'm going to make a whole tutorial eventually of how I restring these American Girls, like how I replace the cord, and show in great detail what I've done. But this isn't like an official tutorial. I just had to reattach her arm. I'm guessing the brass insert broke inside her body because the elastic wasn't stretched out. That's why I'm just reusing it. I didn't have to take the cup out from inside her arm. So if you're actually restringing a doll because the elastic was worn out from age, you would have to get a new elastic, which I use bungee cords, and you'd have to use hot water to heat up the limb in question, remove the plastic cup, then you'd have to thread one end of the bungee cord into a cup, clamp it down with a washer, a knot, or a brass insert, whatever you want, push it back into the limb, then you'd have to string it through the torso and repeat that same clamping process. And I use a crimping tool for jewelry actually to clamp down the washer, and I've done this. I've restrung so many of my American Girls because pretty much all of my childhood dolls were loose from age and play, and I've gotten quite a few that were used that needed to be restrung. And this method is really cheap. You can buy bungee cord and a bunch of tiny washers at Walmart, and it's a lot cheaper than like going online and trying to buy the like authentic American Girl restringing cord and the brass inserts. It's inside the body, you're not even going to notice. And bungee cord is meant to hold like, things in place. It's very strong and durable. Some people use hair elastics, which I tried when I first restrung dolls, but hair elastics don't last long, so you really don't want to use that inside your doll if you want the restringing to last a long time. And this process isn't hard, honestly. It's just kind of tedious. And Jolene's, that's what I named her. This Julie doll is named Jolene. Her cord was a little bit frayed at the end. That's why I was having trouble getting it through the little hole in the plastic cup, and that's what took so long. I had to coax it through. So if not, it would have been a much easier process. And then, of course, once I have her completely clamped down and it's all tight in place, I was able to restuff her and reattach her head, which isn't hard, but restuffing is tedious because they have a lot of stuffing, and you have to make sure it all goes into the booty, because if you don't properly pack it down into their bum region, then you'll end up with way too much at the top of the torso, and it'll be hard to get the head on.
Alright, so this new Julie doll is all done. Her name is Jolene, because obviously my first Julie doll is Julie. I have them dressed up both in their meet outfits because I'm taking my Flickr guide photos, because I always include my duplicates. So she's missing her belt and the like one of her shoes. I did get one of the shoes with Krissa and Peridot, but I obviously don't have a pair, so I'm just borrowing her birthday dress shoes, and she's missing part of her accessory set as well, but she actually does have her purse and her necklace. She was wearing that. And she had her underwear too, which we didn't realize at first, but I actually have a spare pair of Julie underwear that I've hoarded at a thrift store, I think, years ago. I hoard American Girl underwear. But yeah, so maybe in the future, if I get like some of the missing pieces, I will re-photograph them this way. But I'm not too concerned because it's not like they're really gonna wear matching meet outfits on display. And most of Julie's clothes come with pairs of shoes, so it's unlikely that they'd both be wearing an outfit that needed these shoes. She's very common. I see Julie at the flea market a lot, so I'm sure I'll find another shoe to mate with the one I have, or a whole other pair. I did make earrings to go with this outfit, even though I already had earrings to go with this dolls. I always do that. I don't know, I like making earrings and I like them to feel like they have their own stuff. And she got a little name bracelet because Julie and Ivy have name bracelets too. Julie's not wearing hers because she had been wearing the new Christmas outfit and it didn't fit with that. But yep, she's got her bracelet and everything, and this is how her hair turned out. It's really sleek and shiny. It's a little bit nicer than her hair right now because it's been a while since I've done that doll's hair. Not that this Julie has bad hair. It's just like not as freshly gelled. And then obviously her arm is back intact and it's really tight. Hopefully she won't lose any other limbs. I'm guessing that the brass insert, the little metal clamp, broke, and that's why her arm fell off, because the elastic, I didn't, as you could see in that clip, I didn't change the elastic or anything because that was still fine. So it must have been a failure of the brass insert, which I have seen before on my Felicity doll named Emerald. I think this Julie doll actually has knots for her limbs because she had a loose arm when I got her. I think it might have been the same one. And I just like put an elastic underneath it. Something else that's really interesting, I just checked. This Julie's head is stamped Pleasant Company. Hers is stamped American Girl. It goes to show you that they clearly, that Pleasant Company stamp doesn't mean anything. Julie's not a Pleasant Company character. It's not a different head mold. They just add the stamps in later. And I know that my Julie doll here must have been from at least 2009 because her book, I got her book with her, and Rebecca was advertised in the back, and Rebecca came out in 2009, whereas I actually think this Julie doll is a little bit older, based on the age of like Krissa and them and how her condition compared. Her stuff was really quite trash. This shirt was disgusting. Yeah, so I'm guessing that she's actually a little bit older, but she has the American Girl stamp. Fascinating. So I made Jolene a spot on Julie's bed. Nanea was here before, but I did some shuffling. Nanea is back in the cabinet with Gabriella. I chose her over Melody because A, Melody's time frame is closer to Julie and Ivy, so her clothes look really good with theirs, and B, Nanea has long wavy hair, and honestly it was hard to keep it neat on the bed anyways, so it'll be better in here. And I moved Lainey out of the cabinet, and she's standing with Krissa, and you can see Angela and Valerie are behind them. But yeah, that's what I came up with for now. I'm running out of room. That's alright. I do have room for another bitty baby in here though.